Hi traders, and welcome to today's ACY Securities Forex Market Analysis. My name is Duncan Cooper and I will be your host. Today we'll be focusing on the dollar index and the Australian dollar to the US dollar. Hi traders, just at forexfactory.com. Just wanted to review the news items that can affect the Aussie to the US dollar, the pair I'm reviewing today. So time is showing at Queensland time, my time. So into today, Tuesday, 10:30 PM, we've got the US CPI and core CPI coming out. Tomorrow noon we have the New Zealand official cash rate coming out. That could potentially affect the Aussie US dollar because they're highly correlated. Later in the day, 10:30 PM, we've got the US PPI and core PPI coming out. Into Thursday, 11:30 AM, we've got the Aussie employment change unemployment rate coming out. And then later in the day, 10:30 PM, we've got the US core retail sales and retail sales at 10:30 PM. And then it's a short week this week because of Easter, so nothing much there on Friday. Alright, so those are the items to watch for the Aussie US dollar. So let's get to the charts. First up, quick review of the dollar index. Nothing much changing other than it keeps going up. Monthly chart is going up here. It's heading towards the next monthly level of resistance at 139. This area over here. So watch for that. Weekly chart making new high last week, and the daily obviously making new high too. So trends are all up there on the dollar index, so pairs to the US dollar should be declining. Just watch what the index does when it gets close to or at 139 or 100.39. We might see a little bit of a pullback there, time will tell, but at the moment dollar index is showing strength. So pairs to the US dollar should be showing weakness, generally speaking. Alright, let's get to the Aussie dollar. To the monthly chart first of all, I've got monthly resistance at 75.55 here. Support miles away at the moment, that's at 69.91. So what I'm seeing is we are false breaking, reversing at the 75.55 monthly resistance high. And we could be just moving back down the range. Trend theoretically is up because we broke above that high, but that being said, very heavy rejection as we get through the lower time frame. So trend is up on the monthly. MACD hasn't yet crossed up, but that's very, very slow. But we may be failing here. And what I've noticed is this whole move from that high to the low is last year's range. We've rallied approximately 62% back inside last year's range. So that being said, we could be at a major turning point here at the 62% retracement, time will tell. So that's worth noting too. Alright, so I'm just going to take that off so it's not too cluttered, but worth noting we've retraced 62% of last year's range. To the weekly chart, let's put in support and resistance. And we've rejected this, or we got very close to rejecting it because we didn't quite get there. 76.75, this level of resistance. Didn't quite get there last week, but obviously the sellers were up or close to that level last week because we heavily rejected from that area. So weekly resistance up here at 76.75. Weekly support down here at 73.14. Now the weekly trend is up, but we had a very heavy rejection last week, an outside week to the downside. We were above the week before's high, and then we closed below the week before's low. So a very negative weekly candle, and we're having a further week down now. So I'm anticipating that in the short term, we're moving down to weekly support at 73.14. Trend is up in terms of higher tops and bottoms here. Well, we've got a higher top and a minor higher bottom here too. Overall the trend is up, MACD is up, but is this where the trend is changing? Very aggressive outside reversal week last week, having a further week down this week. As I say, I'm looking for this to move down in the short term to 73.14 weekly support. To the daily, let's get in support and resistance. Trend on the daily is down here, we've moved to a lower bottom. Let's get in support and resistance. And Just moved through support here at 74.56, so that's now resistance. If we move further up, there's another level here at 75.40. I'm just going to disregard this high here. Support's down here, 73.67. Now this high here could act as resistance, but we've only just moved through that level at 74.41. So what I'm looking for is any movement back will probably now hold at broken support rather than this top here. That's just my personal viewpoint. So the trend is down. We've moved below support to a lower low. We've crossed down the MACD. We've had 4 straight days down. I'm anticipating we will have some time back up, but the trend is down in the short term. So I'm anticipating we might have 1 day up, 2 days up before continuing down to test 73.67 day support here and a weekly support here. That's my goal for the move down at the moment, 73.14. Okay, so how do we get into the trade if we're not already in? As I say, looking for a pullback. Now the question is, now that we've broken 74.56, will price just come back up and retest that level? And that's it. So what could happen? Get my drawing tool here. Of course we can just continue down and never have a day up, but what I'd like to see is that we do have a day up and we just hopefully come back to 74.56 and hold, and then I'm going to drop down to a lower time frame to look for an opportunity to sell, and then managing the trade hopefully for a break of 73.67, trading down to 73.14. I'll assess things if and when we can get down to that level, but that's my short-term target. Of course, if we get a major collapse here, long-term target would be down at monthly support 69.91, but that's miles away. So in the short term, I'd just be targeting weekly support. Now that's how you could trade it on the daily chart, looking for a pullback to 74.56. If that can occur, moving it down to a 4-hour chart, what we're seeing here is that this is just showing your lower tops and bottoms. It might not want to have a day up for a while. It might want to come down to daily support before it has a day up. So you can monitor the 4-hour chart. This might continue down still today, and just look for a rally on the 4-hour chart. So if price moves down a little bit more, then has a rally maybe to a 62% or a 79% retracement level, watch for failure, and then drop down to a lower time frame 50-minute chart for an entry for an opportunity to trade down towards daily support. Okay, so at the moment the structure on the 4-hour chart is down. It's not showing any signs of failing. It almost looked like it might have wanted to fail yesterday, and if you notice, yesterday we actually came up, put in a lower top and tested 74.56 as new resistance. So maybe on the daily chart price might not get back up to that level. It might come down to daily support before it has a rally. So that being said, if you want to try and engage on this pair at the moment, you need to be looking at your 4-hour chart, trying to sell a rally within that downtrend at 62 or 79% retracement level. Okay. Alright traders, that's what I'm looking for on the Aussie US dollar. Looking to sell a rally either on the day chart, 1 or 2 days up, back at resistance, or looking to sell a rally on the 4-hour chart. Now I just want to go back to the day chart just before I finish. There's always the possibility that we have a deeper rally. So let's just discuss that. There's always the possibility that some positive news comes out and we have a rally. Now the major level that we failed at was this monthly high here at 75.55. There's also daily resistance here at 75.40. So there's always the chance that we get a deeper rally, so it's worth discussing, up to this area of resistance before the next decline. Alright, so even though this is very negative at the moment, there's always the possibility that positivity comes into the market, we start to rally strongly back up to the area of resistance that we've false broke. So watch that too. If we get some strength, look for an opportunity to sell down from 75.40 up to 75.55. Alright, so those are the things that I'm watching at the moment on the Aussie US dollar. Alright traders, that's my analysis for today. Have a great trading week. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Want a real opportunity to improve your trading? Join Duncan Cooper in his free 15-part webinar series designed to help you improve all areas of your trading.
The upcoming webinars for this week: 12th of April, the Fibonacci tool, price roadmap, and how to identify the trend continuation pattern. During this webinar, Duncan will show you how to draw and use the Fibonacci tool correctly on your charts and apply it to your trading. 13th of April, Forex trading, live market analysis. During this webinar, Duncan will review 12 currency pairs, determine the key support and resistance trading levels for the week ahead, discuss his favorite risk to reward trading opportunities, and answer your trading questions. 14th of April, how to use the MACD indicator in bull and bear markets and identify a divergence. Discover how to use the MACD indicator, determine the underlying trend, and learn how to use the power of divergence. Register at the link below.